You probably heard the story from Zionists. Jews in the Muslim world suffered 1,000 years of oppression, persecution, and forced conversion to Islam. Let's take a closer look at that story. Let's start at the beginning with the first years of Muslim rule in Jerusalem. The city was virtually 100% Christian when the Arabs conquered it. Muslims brought Jews back to Jerusalem for the first time in centuries, and by the 1840s, Jews were the largest single group in Jerusalem, more than either Muslims or Christians. Now, if everyone was forced to convert to Islam, how is it possible that Muslims, after 1,000 years, were a minority in the third holiest city in Islam? Then let's look at some of the other major Ottoman cities. Salonica was one of the most important port cities in the Ottoman Empire, the seventh largest Ottoman city, and a city that had been majority Jewish for 300 years. The city closed Saturdays because Jewish merchants managed the docks. They were leaders in banking, tobacco, and the maritime trade. 3 centuries of economic dominance blessed by the Muslim imperial authorities. Baghdad was the commercial and cultural capital of Mesopotamia, and by some estimates, almost 40% Jewish. A community that traced its roots back to Babylon. Baghdadi Jews were merchants, bankers, and traders operating at the top echelons of the economy of the Islamic world. In the imperial capital, Istanbul, Jews were about 10% of the population, but held a majority of the licensed medical positions in the city. For 400 years, the Sultans trusted Jewish doctors with their lives. The chief surgeon of the Imperial Medical Hospital in Istanbul was a Jew. In 1492, Christian Spain expelled or killed every Jew who refused to convert. More than 100,000 were suddenly stateless, stripped of everything they had built over 700 years in Muslim Spain. The Ottoman Sultan, Bayezid II, welcomed the refugees. They settled in the Ottoman Empire's primary trading hubs. The Sultan provided financial aid to get them established. He threatened punishment for any Ottoman official who treated them harshly. No European-style ghettos, no refugee camps. The commandos, Spanish Jews settled in Istanbul, became the empire's private bankers, financing its wars, one of the wealthiest families in the Ottoman Empire. Abraham Solomon Commando received the Medal of Honor for financing the Ottoman Empire during the Crimean War. Upon his death in Paris in 1873, he was buried in Istanbul as per his wishes. His funeral was a state ceremony with the Imperial Palace Band. The Alatinis, Spanish Jews who settled in Salonica, built the largest industrial complex in the empire. When the Sultan was deposed in 1909, he was exiled to their villa. The Alatinis, along with the other elite Sephardic families of Salonica like the Modiano and Morpurgo, were among the wealthiest in the empire. The Jews of Salonica declared in 1550, "Turkey is entirely open to you. Settle here, our brethren, in the best of the land. You will not be afflicted by the burning fire of oppression and of exile. The Turks do not let us suffer any evil or oppression." The Valeros, Spanish Jews who moved from Istanbul to Jerusalem, founded the city's first bank and managed the Rothschild fortune in the Holy Land. In 1454, Rabbi Isaac Sephardi, a German Jew who had emigrated to the Ottoman Empire, wrote, "Turkey is a land where nothing is lacking. Is it not better for you to live under Muslims than under Christians? Here every man may dwell at peace under his own vine and fig tree." The famous French philosopher Voltaire, in his 1763 treatise on tolerance, praised the Ottomans. The Sultan governs in peace 20 million people of different religions. The empire is full of Christians and Jews. The annals of Turkey do not record any revolt instigated by any of these religions. The Sephardic Jews came with nothing. The Islamic society that gave them refuge made it possible for them to build generational wealth over 300 years and go from penniless to some of the wealthiest family dynasties on earth. Was it all unicorns and rainbows? No. There were corrupt, oppressive officials and rulers and wars and periods of social unrest that sparked sectarian violence. But compare that to 1,000 years of Jewish life in Europe. More than 1,000 cases of entire Jewish populations being expelled from cities, states, and provinces. The Spanish Alhambra decree and Inquisition, which forced the conversion, execution, or exile of more than 150,000 Jews. Anti-Jewish pogroms that killed hundreds of thousands. The Russian Tsar's Pale of the Settlement. And finally Nazi Germany and the horrors of the Holocaust. As Rabbi Itzhak Sephardi wrote in his letter in 1454, "Is it not better for you to live under Muslims than under Christians?" Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more content like this, please like and subscribe.